As they're driving me, they're like, we like you. That's why you don't have a bag over your head. I was like, oh, thank you very much. They go, do you have any family you can call so that you can negotiate your ransom? And I go, I do have family. They go, you're going to call your mom or your dad? I said, no, I'm not going to call my mom. She'll have a heart attack. I'll call my brother. And they go, we want to call your parents. I said, no, you don't understand. My mother will die.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Bad Decisions, where we watch people make
bad decisions.
It's your boy Sherm.
It's your man Jay.
The guy in the video is a YouTuber named YourFavoriteArab. So just a quick refresher for some of you guys who are not familiar with him or his content. He's pretty much a travel vlogger who goes to different third world countries, and he does interviews with people that are part of the street life. So he might interview like a slumlord, a gang leader, a scammer, that kind of thing. Recently, he tried to get an interview with one of the gang leaders in Haiti, and needless to say, it did not go as planned, and he got kidnapped.
That place is completely run by gangs, so you don't want to be dealing with the gangs. Even though we have safe passage, we're already approved. All it takes is one stupid gang member holding an AK-47 for one thing to go wrong.
I was trying to conceptualize or give a title to what he does. You said travel vlogger.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, technically journalist, I guess, because he interviews people. So maybe journalist, travel vlogger, journalist.
Yeah, I mean, so my first thought was travel journalist, and then I was like, well, more of a travel reporter. But yeah, I would say, like, all these names work. Travel journalist, travel vlogger, reporter, whatever. Essentially, he, like you said, he goes to dangerous places and interviews dangerous people. I saw one series he has on his channel, like 4 days with the Mexican cartel. I'm like, this guy. He interviewed he interviewed a hitman.
When's the last time you killed someone?
Yesterday.
And he was said in the beginning of the video, his goal was to try to humanize the hitman. I'm like, okay, so maybe he's trying to provide some educational content, and he's doing it by going to these places. I will say this. I watched a conversation he had with Sneeko.
Yeah.
And in the conversation, he said he had gotten permission ahead of time or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think before he didn't just show up at these places and knock on their door like, hey.
I would hope not.
Right. Well, see, I didn't think about that in the beginning. So then after I watched that video with Sneeko, or he was talking with Sneeko, I saw that, okay, he reaches out ahead of time. He gets permission from whoever the top guy is, lets him know what he's about. And so they're prepared when he comes. Because if he shows up with a camera talking about, hey, let me interview you.
They're going to show up with something else.
Oh, yeah, they're going to, yeah. So, but what I think what happened here is that he had everything worked out ahead of time, and when he got there, things didn't go as planned. So they kind of switched it up on him, and technically he got kidnapped because of that. He couldn't just leave, because if he tried to just leave, he was afraid they might try to do some things.
Well, one thing I definitely want to get out the way is I definitely want to say that I'm glad that he's safe, and it looks like he's made it home. Hopefully by now. But something that I have also put in consideration is that he's in the same lane as the crocodile hunter. You know, the guy who jumps in there with sharks and alligators for fun. To him, this whole situation might not be as crazy because, as you mentioned before, he's interviewed cartel people, he's interviewed hit people. My thing is this. There are other people who do the same things that he does. For example, there's one lady, I don't remember her name, but she goes, I think it's called Net Geo or National Graphic or National something. And basically she does the same thing. She'll interview hit people, she'll interview people in street life, but somehow she magically ends up safe the entire time. So my thing is this, if this is what you've always been doing, there has to be a better way to do it. And I know that, like, the lady that I'm speaking about, there's a whole network that's probably behind her. So maybe they have a whole bunch of armed security guards, but you only have one life. So if you only have one life, you got to take precautions and you got to find a safer way of doing what you're supposed to do. Because I think that's one thing that he mentioned with Sneeko is that he got a little bit too comfortable. You might not see in the clip that we had before, but there is a clip around in which he says that, like, he might have gotten too comfortable, a little bit too cocky. Because at the end of the day, you're going to a country that the people are running away from trouble and you're running towards trouble. And trouble doesn't move when you run towards it. So in other words, the more you fuck around, the more you're just going to find out. And that's what he found out. Ultimately, am I going to say that this is a bad decision? I think this is a bad decision. Just because he got a little bit too comfortable. But that doesn't mean that his job isn't necessary, right? Because people who do his job, people who do that kind of journalism, we get so much from it. That's how we find out about the inner workings of criminal organizations, about people who are actually doing bad things, is that the people who actually have balls and are brave enough to do those kind of things. So I do give him credit because there's no way I'd ever do something like that. It's just not happening. But you, like I said, you only have one life and you need to secure it. And it's good that he's got other skills, because you don't survive a situation like that without having good people skills, without having good survivor skills. So it's apparent that he does this for a living.
And they took a few videos with me where I'm very excited. That's why you see some people on socials going, "Oh, he wasn't kidnapped. He's just chilling with the guy in his house." Yeah, well, I'm f***ing surrounded by 10 dudes with guns in the middle of the desert. Of course I'm going to be friendly. Like, yeah, I'm going to befriend them. I know how to make the best out of the situation, but I'm still f***ing kidnapped in the desert.
One thing that I think everybody should take from this is that you realize how essential it is to have people skills. That might sound basic to everybody, but the only reason why he's alive is that he still had people skills. One thing that he mentions in the clip is that normally they would have put a bag over his head, but because they liked him so much, they're like, no, you don't got to wear a bag. I mean, we're still going to kidnap you, but, you know, you're good. So, I mean, that spoke to different levels. That really shows how good it is to have soft skills. But nonetheless, what he did, I mean, is still pretty crazy. Like, you're going to a country that people say is not safe. And I know a lot of people say that the U.S. blows a lot of things out of proportion, which they do, because I have been to countries where they say, like, oh, this country is terrible, and I've been to it, and I've been completely fine. But at the same time, there's people that are from that country that aren't going at that time. I personally know people who are Haitian that aren't going to that country at this time.
Yeah, I'm going to say he made a good decision. He didn't go there with the intention of being kidnapped for YouTube views. I think he went there as part of what he does for his channel, which is to go do, I don't know if I even call it investigative reporting. I don't think he's investigating anything. I think he goes there to interview people who you wouldn't otherwise hear from, and you get another perspective on certain types of life, the most gritty, dark types of life. And so, you know, props to him for having the courage to do it. And like you said, having the people skills to navigate that lifestyle, or not even a lifestyle, to navigate that profession for the most part safely. Now, is it a risky job? Yeah, there are a lot of risky jobs. You know, I'm not going to be cleaning windows on skyscrapers either. You know what I mean? Like, this jobs I'm not going to do. This is one of them, for sure.
Is it, like, on the scale from 1 to 10, this is probably, like, the top 10.
This is top 10 for me. Like, this is top 10.
It might actually be 10.
It may actually be 10. Yeah, I think I'd rather swim with sharks.
I was about to say, that 9 might actually be the crocodiles or sharks.
So, but... You know, but like I said, I'll give him credit for his courage, and hopefully he makes it home safely.
Yeah, all right. So, decision makers, if you think he made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think he's crazy, leave a like and leave a comment. And if you'd like to get kidnapped, leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers, we're out.